She's live. Now the cool thing will be if anybody actually shows up. And I just remembered YouTube doesn't really like for me to be smoking my live stream. So I'll just sit here and talk just to myself for a little while. Good morning. Good morning, Angie's Life. Let's see. All right, now where's, oh my, now they've changed the layout again. Where's my thing? Oh, there it is. Where's my thing? Chat filter, all messages. There we go. Hi, Angie's Live. How are you, baby? I'm still attempting to become accustomed to this vertical format. Hi, Grasshopper. I don't like it. I don't like the vertical thing. I'm trying to get used to it. How are you today, Angie's Life and Grasshopper? Hi, Kiki Eyes. Everything looks really unfamiliar to me because I've never had some of these features. The thing with the little purple thing beside your name. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Cotton Candy 65. Hi, Lucia Williamson. Thank you, babies, for coming over. I just titled it Casual Chat, although it's the 15th. As usual, I don't have any content and no particular destination. I guess I ought to keep these on till I say hi to you, babies. Hi, Patty Barnett. Thank you all for coming over. But as I was saying, blah, 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 let's talk about me. Let's talk about mine. Let's talk about number one, oh, my, me, mine. Hi, Lily. My screen has different things on it today than it has ever had before. Although they are things I have seen on other folks' live chats when they're in vertical format. Top fans and that little purple thing beside your name that has to do with, I think, how many characters you're putting into the chat. I'm not real clear on how that works or what it's about. So I'm just making sure I said hi to everybody. YouTube doesn't really like for me to smoke, but I'm going to anyway. And I never monetize the live streams until after we complete them. And then they always go green. So far, so good. Although, Lucia, that sounds familiar about someone that's all about her. I don't know who you mean. Ms. Williamson, whoever are you referring to? And Kiki Eyes is saying good morning to everyone. And hi to Carrie. And Grasshopper Jump a Lot saying hi to everyone. So, what do you got to say, old lady, now that you got us all over gathered up over here in our braless, although I'm wearing a bra, in our braless kitchen cold? You drag us over here on your YouTube channel, and then you just sit there and you don't say hardly anything of any import whatsoever. Well, hi. My name is Susan, and welcome to Lip Locked No More. If you're new, double welcome. We're glad to have you here. You will find here on Lip Locked No More that the chat is warm, friendly, empathetic, and compassionate, and very kind. Generally speaking, so am I. But on the rare occasion, I can rip a bitch a new asshole if I choose to. I'm just not in the mood for it today. And besides that, it's the 15th of the month. Hi, I'm that bee mama bear. Hi, soft light. Hi, like. Absolutely, you can join the channel. Soft light. I'm sorry, I didn't see the soft part. Hugs to you, I'm that bee mama bear. So in that welcoming, super duper want to welcome back those of you who are coming back for another round of nothingness here on the channel. And those of you who are members, triple thank you to you for your support financially to the channel. Now, some of you may be wondering, I thought she was going to be on her brand new whiz-banger laptop the next time she went live on YouTube. I'm still scared, although I am going to go in there and open it up and give away some memberships. I think we have some to give away. For those of you who disdain cigarette smoking, I usually smoke one or at least part of one. No, the key word there, usually, not always. And babies, your chat is getting past me. Caden Severson, thank you so much for reminding us that Jesus loves us indeed. Indeed, he does. I'm that bee mama bear. You may not have been here on the, I can't remember, honey. I'm sorry if you were here for the last live stream. On the last Social Security day, I went to the Dollar General and I splurged $17, Mama Bear, and I bought me 3 new pairs of readers. They're 2.5ers and they're Foster Grants. And I got me these ones. And I got me some red and black ones. And I got me some purple ones that have pretend diamonds in them. I love them too, Mama Bear. I'm beginning to grow accustomed to putting them on and taking them off. Hi, Tennessee DJ. You get yours at the Dollar Tree. We have a Dollar Tree, although like a couple of years ago, everything went from like $1 for everything to $1.25 or $1.50. I think they need to change the name of the store. Thank you, Grasshopper. Hi, Sunday to Doodles. You love the pretend diamonds. I got me a pretend diamond tennis bracelet too. Only them pretend diamonds look a whole lot more like real diamonds. I don't know why my Arcanese is coming out this morning. So let's see. Since we have no content, I will, on a serious note here, start now. Hi, James. Well, James, it's a podcast. Hi, Chaos and Roses. What the fuck do you want, motherfucker? It's a goddamn motherfucking podcast. What do you want? It's an old bitch sitting out on her front porch, jacking her jaws. If you don't fucking like it, click out, motherfucker. We're a cult over here, bitch. I control their behavior, their information, their thoughts, and their emotions. Do you want me to pull the earlobe on my left ear, motherfucker, and activate the chip I have had secretly implanted behind your right ear that will make you do shit, and you'll get up the next day and wonder, what the fuck did I do and why did I do it? And then you'll suddenly realize Lip Lock no more activated the chip behind your right ear and made you into a motherfucking nice person instead of the cocksucker you appear to be. Hi, Boombacks. I'm on the front porch. Where the hell does it look like I am? Hi, Grammy B. Hi, Quinny. How dare you, Gouda? Hello, Troll Farm. Y'all come over here to suck a little hind tit, did you? Never mistake my gentle kindness for weakness, motherfuckers. Now that you distracted me from the very serious thing that I was going to address, I'll take a few more puffs off of this cancer stick here. Carrie, just go ahead and block them. Or Cotton Candy 65. I'm not in the mood for it. It's the 15th of the month. And evidently, there are a number of people strolling around on the streets of YouTube this morning that don't know what the 15th of the month means on Lip Locked No More. And evidently, you're not smart enough to figure out what the name of this channel implies. I am Lip Locked No More. So fuck around and find out how you like me now. Now then, why is the 15th of every single month important on Lip Lock No More? Chaos and Roses, baby, I think I said hi to you. Can somebody in the chat tell me why the 15th of the month? Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, James. All my neighbors like me a lot, and I like them as well. Yeah, Tennessee DJ. Yeah, I'm that bee mama bear. Thank you, Carrie. Yes, Vanessa Bowers. Yes, Patty Barnett. So for anybody listening that is unaware, on the 15th of June of 2021, a little girl with blonde hair and blue eyes by the name of Summer Moon Utah Wells disappeared from her home at 110 Ben Hill Road in the Beach Creek community near Rogersville, Tennessee in Hawkins County. She was 5. She was probably wearing a gray shirt, or I beg your pardon, gray pants and a pink shirt, and she was most likely barefooted. And to this day, Summer Wells has a nationwide Amber Alert. You see, on the 15th of June of 2021, sometime in the early afternoon hours, according to Leslie Earhart, Public Information Officer for the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, known as TBI. Sometime in the early afternoon hours of June the 15th of 2021, with her mother, her maternal grandmother, and her 3 older brothers, who were at the time and still are minors, were present on the property. According to the FBI CARD team, CARD, Child Abduction Rapid Deployment, according to them, there are absolutely no signs of abduction. 138 agencies searched for 13 days solid, pretty much day and night, through the hills, the hollers, the rugged terrain that surrounds the home. Not a hide, not a hair, not a shred of clothing, not a single piece of evidence anywhere that would lead authorities not only to Summer's whereabouts, but to whatever happened to her. Her 3 older brothers, in July of 2021, were placed in the custody of the Tennessee, I can't remember right off the top of my head now what they call it, but Child Protective Services, DHS, we call it here in Arkansas, which is where I am. Sometime nearing the 6:30 p.m. hour, more specifically 6:23 p.m. and 6:28 p.m., 2 911 calls were made. One, we know for sure, from Don Wells, the father of Summer, who was working that day in Jonesboro, Tennessee, about 45 minutes drive time from his home, when he was notified that his daughter was missing by his wife, Candace Bly Wells. According to Leslie Earhart, a phone call was made by a family member. That could be anybody that was on the property at the time. It has never been clarified, and we have never heard the actual 911 calls. We've only heard the dispatch, and that is how we know that her father was one of the people who called. Because in the dispatch, we hear the dad said the mom went for a walk. She didn't. After a day in Kingsport, Tennessee, that began relatively early in the morning for the Wells family, based on what we know about them. Beginning early that morning, Don Wells reportedly got up and went to work around 7 o'clock. That's the last time he saw his daughter, Summer Wells. He told us in a live interview here on the tubes a number of years ago. Summer had her foot laying on him. You see, Summer slept in the same bed, although she was 5, with her mother and her father. According to Mr. Wells, he had to move Summer's foot off of him to get up and get out of the bed. So the last time Mr. Wells saw his daughter, apparently she was peacefully sleeping with her mom. But the day goes on, and the purpose of the trip to Kingsport, Tennessee, is to take Candace Harrer, the mother of Candace Bly Wells, who was living in a camper on the property there at 110 Ben Hill Road at the time. She since has vacated the property. But you see, Candace Harrer had a bum knee. Apparently she was having some problems with it, and so Smack dab in the middle of a worldwide pandemic known as COVID-19, Candace Bly took her daughter and her mother into town to the Halston Medical Center for her mother to have her knee checked and attended to. While waiting for her mother to receive her treatment or whatever, there are varying stories, but Candace Bly Wells either contacted a 15-year-old boy named Hunter, her friend, or according to other stories, he contacted her. Nonetheless, whichever fucking way it went, Candace and Summer and Candace Hare went and picked up Hunter. Were they going fishing? There were no fishing poles. Were they going swimming? Was it impromptu or was it planned? Is Hunter an alibi or a culprit? You know what? Now that I think about it, actually, Candace and Summer went and picked up Hunter and came back to the Halston Medical Center and waited for Candace Hare. They also went to a couple of tobacco shops. They went to Sonic. They got slushies. Her mother can't remember what flavor Summer got. By the way, the gray pants and the pink shirt and the likely barefooted were arrived at after 6 different descriptions of what Summer Moon Utah Wells might have been wearing. Go figure. They went to a grocery store. Best we know, Summer hadn't had anything to eat all day. Just some unknown flavor of a slushie. They took the 15-year-old boy Hunter home. The last known, or at least believed known, there was a video shot of Summer swimming. At Warriors Path State Park. The metadata reveals that it was shot at 12:33 p.m. on the 15th of June of 2021. There's that other video, but the metadata has never been substantiated by law enforcement. The milk jug video. On a hot summer day, of a tiny little girl in a tracksuit, eyes closed, leaned up against 2 milk jugs in the back seat of her grandma's pickup truck. The seatbelt is not properly placed. You see, the shoulder harness was behind her. The hood of the little jacket is askew. Looks weird. And many of us, for over 4 years, have been speculating as to whether or not the baby is alive. And that So for almost 4 years now, there are a couple of more significant things. First law enforcement officer arrived at 7:03 p.m. So for over 4 years, my heart has been wrapped up around a forever five until found alive. Tiny little wisp of a girl. And on the 15th of every month since, I talk about her. We don't know because law enforcement does not know what happened to her. But we do know that TBI has been back within the last week. TBI has been back at 110 Ben Hill Road. They're searching the creeks again, around the mailbox. TBI, please go to Morrison Cemetery. Please. There's a particular grave there. An exhumation would be needed for the person whose gravestone is at that grave. But if there is the very slightest possibility, the tiniest shred, the thinnest thread of hope or possibility that Summer Wells was placed in that grave, TBI, we're grasping at straws. But you're not. Please find Summer Wells. And if there is a person or people who are responsible for her disappearance, please bring them to justice. Please. And when Summer first disappeared, she was determined to be missing and endangered. At around 11:16 on the morning of June the 16th of 2021, based on new information, and we don't know what that new information was. But according to Leslie Earhart, here again, Public Information Officer for TBI, on the 16th of June, she told us of 2021, she told us that Summer had been elevated to a nationwide Amber Alert based on new information. And although it is absolutely mere speculation on my part, I believe that new information came from the neighbor Fred Hill, who agreed with law enforcement to wear a recording device and hang out around Jody Sue Brown, hang out around Andy Bernard, hang out around Don Wells, hang out around Candace Bly Wells, hang out around the boys. hang out around the neighbors, gathering up, sitting in lawn chairs at their driveways, watching what was going on. Law enforcement, Fred Hill, risked his own safety to wear a recording device to see if he could pick up any information that law enforcement could use to aid them in the recovery or the rescue of Summer Wells. I could be completely wrong. But where else would that new information have come from? I think I've calmed down enough that we can go inside, give away some memberships, read you a little piece of something from our book that we've been reading from, and sing you out with one verse of a particular song that I've been asked for months by one of our viewers if I would do Landslide. YouTube has new terms of service in regards to a number of things that went into effect today. So I'm going to be really cautious about singing to yous. I think I can get away with one verse. I don't really remember anything when I read the new, I guess we would call them amendments or addendums. I'm not sure. And I'm getting a little brain fog right now because of the sorrow I'm feeling for Summer. But I don't remember them saying anything about music. The regulations changing, not regulations, terms of service. I need another puff off a cigarette. But one of our subscribers has been asking me for months. I mean, not every time I turn around. I'm trying to cheer myself up, okay? Not every time I turn around, but more than once has asked me to do Landslide. And I think I can remember words because I used it this morning for the short for Summer Wells. And some of you, especially if you're new, you might say, "Hi, Pam Fogel." You might say, "Well, you old bat, how come you read to us and sang to us before you say goodbye?" Because I like to leave you on a lighter note. When we say goodbye, I like for you to not be crying, to not be angry, to not have your feelings hurt. I like for you to step out of this space into whatever space you choose to step into afterwards. Maybe another YouTube channel. Maybe go on over to your Facebook, whatever social media that you peruse and use. Or maybe like me, you turn your fucking phone off and you go outside. You get your hands in the dirt. You pick your tomatoes. Make sure you ain't got no bugs eating your sunflowers. By the way, I forgot to go with Wi-Fi and we're using data. And for all I know, you kids have been telling me in the chat the whole time that I'm pixeling like a motherfucker. If I am, I'm sorry. I forgot to change it over to Wi-Fi. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Nada Dramanana. Tennessee DJ, that's what you're going to do next? Tennessee DJ, I know I got maters that need picking. I got some cherry tomatoes that need to come off that vine. And yesterday afternoon, I saw one big, it's either a big boy or a beef eater. And it was just at that place where I was like, oh, I wanted to pick it, Tennessee DJ. Oh, I wanted to reach over and just snap that tomato off of that vine. And I thought, no, give it one more day. So I'm doing that. Sunday to doodles, mow, water, plant, stroll, coffee in hand. Good plan. Sandy Gant, what are you jealous of Pam over? Not a Drama Nana is wishing everyone a good day. So, yeah, so I got stuff like that to do. I got all my mowing done last week, and y'all already know. My granddaughter and her beau came down from St. Louis. Oh, we had a fine time. They stayed 3 days and 2 nights. They went kayaking here on the Greer's Ferry Lake. They asked Papa, "Where's a place we can take these two kayaks we got strapped to the top of this Tahoe?" So they took one of the days and went to the recommended cove that they could just drive right down to. Uh, about 2 minutes from here as the crow flies, but maybe 7 minutes drive time because you got to maneuver through the traffic. Anywho, they went kayaking. They come back with a little bit of sunburn, but not too bad. And we just had a big time. Now, Queen Bee, that little beetle link you just heard is because guess what? Like always, I also forgot to turn off my notifications, and that there's Queen Bee going live. Usually her intro is about 20 minutes long because we bees like to gather up around the hive and buzz with each other a little bit before we get into her content. And she's very thoughtful about that because usually she's got, oh, I don't know, anywhere from 1,200 to 2,000 people in her chat. There's only been 2 times we broke 100 over here. So I might have Queen Bee on after I end this live in my hip pocket, listening while I'm going around my yard taking care of business. Vanessa, what are you saying, baby? That for you is always nice to see your grandchild and family. Oh, honey, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. I mean, he's 32 and she's in her mid to late 20s, and high outspoken anxiety. Uh, we had never met her beau before. They've been together a little over a year. I don't want to give away too much family business. But they're both, y'all know my granddaughter graduated Webster University a couple of years ago up in St. Louis, and she has a degree in audio engineering. And she met her beau as an audio engineer working for the St. Louis Opera. Hi, Lillian. Lillian, thank you for the offer of the tomatoes this morning, but if you've been here long enough, you know I'm fixing to go out and pull my own tomatoes. Anybody that doesn't know, Lillian is my best friend, and she lives next door. And this morning, while I was walking Rags, the rescued dog, she's out there, had her a big old bowl full of cherry tomatoes, wanted to know if I wanted some tomatoes. I said, I've got tomatoes. What's the matter with you? Sandy, I do too, honey. It's the kids, well, okay. My granddaughter knows that I have a huge cheese box, a wooden cheese box that an entire wheel of cheese comes out of, okay? A cheese box. Absolutely full of snapshots. She knows that. She came to me the first night they were here. She said, "Grandma, have you got any pictures?" Yeah. So we drug out the old cheese box and she started showing her beau snapshots of herself as a baby, and she and I together, and her on a little tractor, and me pushing her around my sister's yard at a family gathering, and we just had the best time. I'm proud of my grandchildren. You never know when one of them might go berserk in this day and age, but So far, knock on wood, so good. Chaos and Roses, you love having your kids around, having them come to visit. It is. It is. And you know what? I, though, now have learned what my mother meant when we'd all gather up at Mama's house. And it was time for us to all go back home. Mama would say, inevitably, she'd say, I'm always glad to see yins come, and boy, I'm always really glad to see yins all go. The house was sure quiet after they left. But I like a quiet house. I'm a quiet woman for the most part, and my husband is a stoic, gentle, loving, quiet man. We get along just fine. We like quiet. Same for you, Kiki Eyes. Tennessee DJ, the older I get, the more I become my mama. I know I've said to yins before, and a number of you have responded in kind. Now, y'all know I'm 74 years old. I'll be 75 in October. When I was 16, my mama was the dumbest woman on the face of the earth. She didn't know shit. She didn't know shit from Shinola. She didn't know her elbow from her ass, in my mind. I have now come to understand that my mother was one of the wisest, most precious women that ever set foot on this earth. I'm glad I listened to her, even when I didn't want to. I was wild. I was wild as a March hare. Boy crazy. Lordy mercy, I was boy crazy. Teenager in the 1960s when you wore micro mini skirts clear up to your hind end. Yeah. But she was a good mama. I don't think I've been all that good of a mama. But I'm blessed that my three boys turned out okay. They turned out fine, even with all the terrible mistakes I made while they were growing up. But they've turned out fine. And they've given me 8 beautiful, stunningly gorgeous grandchildren and 4 great grandchildren. And I love every single one of them. Worry about them in this world that seems to be going to hell in a handbasket. Worry about them getting on dope. Worry about them getting hurt. Worry about them making a wrong step, taking a wrong step, making a wrong choice, using poor judgment, making a bad decision. I worry about all of it, but I don't worry myself to pieces over it. I hand it over to a higher power. That higher power, that picture I put on our community tab yesterday, of that big fluffy cumulus cloud that was above my house. And I ask you, do you forget to look up? Don't forget to look up. Let's go in the house. We've been on here 45 minutes, and I like to keep it to an hour. Hi, Tanya Royal. You're waiting for a grandbaby? Yes, honey, and you still worry about him getting home safe at night? Of course you do. You're welcome, Sunday to Doodles. Sunday, I reckon I'll probably be seeing you over there at Queens here in a little bit. I think that's where we met, baby. I could be wrong. I might have met you over at Nonsense. All right, now what's going on with Pam? Let me see if I can. Carrie, you've got 70-mile-an-hour wind? Nonsense. That's where we met Sunday. That's right. Now I'll see you over at Nonsense eventually. Y'all here again. I don't know if I'm pixeling like a mofo. I'm sorry. Pam, honey, I missed it. What's going on? Or Pam, if you don't want to put it in chat again, honey, send me an instant message. Pam Fogel, let me know what's going on, baby. Carrie, did you have any damage to your house or your vehicles or anything, honey? Carrie saying it was bad. Your neighbor lost his Lincoln Navigator, but we're all good. Oh, Carrie, I'm so grateful. Y'all, Carrie's my best friend on the tubes, as well as my managing moderator. She's been with me pretty near since day one. She lives plumb out yonder in the Pacific Northwest. I'm here in Arkansas, and we ain't never got to meet each other in real life. But I can genuinely say, like for reals, I love Carrie Bishop. I love her sister. I loved her mama, who has passed. I love her grandbabies. I love her daughter. But we don't know each other like that. I mean, me and Carrie know each other, you know. You stayed away from the windows, baby, and it was scary. Yeah. I know a lot of people say, oh, you just got a parasocial relationship on YouTube with Carrie Bishop. Fuck you, no, I don't. She's got my real phone number. She's got my husband's phone number, and he's got hers. We have a real life relationship. So, Pam, honey, please send me an instant message and let me know how come people's praying for you in this chat. Now, looky here. How are we going to do this? Y'all, I wanted to go live on this thing. But I'm still scared. I'm still learning this little mouse pad thing. But we need to give away some memberships. How am I going to do this? But this little thing down here, this thing, yeah, I ain't used to it. Now, I do have a mouse. Let me put it back up so y'all don't see my PIN number in case you decide you're going to break into my house and steal my new cobalt blue laptop. If you're new, you need to know this old granny ain't never had no laptop. Double negative. I'm testing your grammatical whatever. I can't think of another word I want to use. Come back. Anyway, I want to tap that. And then I put in my special number. And there it is. I'm trying to figure out how I can, look, I want to give away some dang memberships. Shit fired, save matches. Yes, Gavin, it is. All right, now, I'm not, Carrie, mods, keep your eyes on the chat because with me doing this over here, I'm not going to be able to see it. All right, now. Now don't laugh. I'm going to try to use this little thing, whatever it's called, and see if I can get over here and double click left. Now wait, is it going to do that thing? Oh, wait. I got to go over here and do that. Come over here and do this. Y'all look at here. Look at my hand. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay. How do I scroll? Two fingers to scroll. This, okay. Oh my goodness, here we go, here we go. All right, I need to make sure the volume is turned all the way down so we don't get feedback. Turning the volume down. No, don't do that. Come over here. Click on it. Is it going to do that thing where it's going to be like a million screens if I do it like this? Or not? Okay, now, babies, be patient with me because I'm in my hand. Oh my goodness. Okay, now, then I need to do this. Come over to the dollar sign. Membership gifting. Do I have some to give away? Let's see. I've got 10 memberships to give away. So let's spin the wheel. It's like a roulette wheel. Y'all know that. And I'm not choosing who gets them. Okay? Okay, let's see who got them. Sunday the Doodles, Tennessee DJ, Pam Fogel, Angie's Life, and Mimi Jean. Okay, now, y'all know I like to give all of them away on the same day. So let's go ahead and get the other 5. Okay, let's see what happens. Patty Barnett, One Shot, Campbell Soup, Poppy the Good Troll, and Sherry. Welcome to all the new members, or the 10 new members. Now, let's see. Let me go up here and close YouTube. Okay. And then power off. So, to the 10 who received the gifted memberships, welcome to Lip Lock No More. Welcome to Baby Dolls. Now, with that term, I'm not infantilizing you. Okay? Baby dolls are a very balanced and aligned combination of Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn. Okay? We have the strength, the courage, the dignity, the grace, the wisdom, and the power to be kind. We also batter up. And follow through. And by that, we mean don't mistake our kindness for weakness, because I can stomp a mud hole in your ass and then I can kick it dry. Yeah. So, getting the most out of life. This book was published by the Reader's Digest in 1946. But wisdom is ageless. Wisdom is always wisdom. Okay? So what we do when I read to you to close out the show here, it's not only in an attempt to lift your spirits back up if I have brought you down, or if you're feeling a little bit down and got nothing to do with anything I've said or done. And here's the other thing. When I'm reading, I'm transposing, or at least attempting to, transpose the words we are reading from ages ago onto our experience on the tubes. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it lands like a lead balloon. Either way, whatever I read usually ends up to be at least a little bit humorous and engaging. But as always, the admonition from Mark Twain. From any experience, take only the wisdom from it and stop there. We are going to continue in the chapter called What Makes a Husband Easy to Live With. We've already read a couple of these. So let's see what I can come up with today. Oh, well, this is not going to apply to my husband. This is about a husband that picks up after himself. If it is one time a day, it'll be 2 or 3 times a day. I'll walk into this kitchen, which I have cleaned. Dishes are washed. Countertops wiped down and sanitized. And I'll walk in here and I'll be dadgum if there isn't breadcrumbs and a little smidgen of peanut butter on my countertop. Walk into his easy chair. Half of the time his coffee cup is still sitting there empty after he's left the house. I have to pick up that coffee cup and walk from clear and yonder in the living room into here to where we're standing right now, rinse it out and put it back over here by the coffee maker. Anyway, from Getting the Most Out of Life, an anthology from the Reader's Digest, 1946 is the publication date, and I'm using it under fair use doctrine. I obviously have absolutely no rights to this book whatsoever. We're going to read a little piece called He Covers His Tracks. I have chosen picking up after himself as the best among my husband's many easy to live with qualities. If there's anything that makes a tired mother desperate, it's to try to teach her children to hang up their hats, put their shoes in the closet, and their soiled clothes in the hamper in the face of the living example of a husband and father who casts off clothing and all responsibility for it in the general direction of the nearest chair. Any woman will seethe with resentment if she has to follow in the tracks of a man picking up the collars, newspapers, shoes, and shirts he sheds. From my heart, I thank my mother-in-law who taught her son to cover his tracks in my house. What are these 2 green things down at the bottom of my screen? Y'all, oh, that's where I gifted the memberships. Okay, it's like, what are those? I've never seen that before. Every time I go live, YouTube has changed something. So I will probably totally butcher this verse of this song. I apologize. I cannot remember actually who it is that has asked for it. But if you're in the chat, I'm going to give it a go. I took my love and I took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around. And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. I can't remember the next line. Now I feel bad. I thought I could remember the whole first verse. I wouldn't blame you guys if you said, screw this. I took my love and I took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around. And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. Why won't the next line? Somebody put it in chat for me. Now I'm getting aggravated. Babies, somebody knows the next line. I know you do. If you'll Google it for me and just give me the first couple of words, I'll be able to finish it. Mirror in the sky, what is love? Thank you, Carrie. Now I'm so embarrassed. Can the mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child in my heart rise above? Can I something the tides of my life? Come on, babies, feed it to me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this now. Now. Mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within me rise above? Can I the tides of my life? No. Can I ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my changing life? Oh my goodness. I think that's the worst I've ever butchered a song on here. That's why I was resisting doing Landslide, because I've never done Landslide and I'm trying to remember the words. But I've been facing changes because I've built my world around you. Yeah. Children get older. And I'm getting older too. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write down the words to that first verse and the chorus so that the next time the person that asked me to do Landslide, oh, take my love, take it down. Thank you, Sandy. Oh, climb a mountain and turn around. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, the landslide brought it down. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, the landslide brought me down. Babies, I love you so much. And I know people make fun of me and us for having established a parasocial relationship where I literally feel comfortable saying to you, I love you. I love you because you are a part of humankind. You're a living, breathing human being. Why would I not love you? Unless you give me a reason not to. So no, I don't know you. I don't know your life. I have no idea who you are. But a higher power instilled within my heart not only the capability, but the capacity for massive love. And I'm not afraid to say so, and I'm not afraid to share it. All I do is that I ask you guys not to abuse it, to take some of it and spread it around. Everybody needs some kindness and love in their life. Just remember, while you're using your superpower of kindness, there are snakes out in that grass. So be wary, stay self-aware, and don't let anybody take your kindness for granted. Now, you don't have to go home, but you need to get the fuck out of my kitchen. I've got litter boxes to clean, YouTube to watch, and flowers to take care of. Plus, I've been facing changes. Get out of here. Love you guys. Bye-bye. 'Cause I built my world around you.